What's up, guys? I'm Josh Pate. That's Steve Wiltfong, the weekly Wiltfong recruiting whip around. Steve, we got like an IMG special today because, as usual, a ton of big names at IMG, and we've got a lot to get to in terms of where they're headed, what the timeline is. So I want to start off the top with Keon Saab. That's a 5-star rated defensive back. I see the crystal ball. I see that tiger paw of Clemson. What's the very latest there?
Well, IMG Academy, these players have to be back in Bradenton, Josh, by July 18th. That's when they check in and get ready for fall camp and get ready to defend their national title on the field. So I think a lot of these young men want to make their college decisions before they get back down to school. They're with their families in their hometowns right now. And Keon Saab, he's the number one athlete in the top 247. He's the number 7 player overall right now. He's a safety, linebacker, rover, hybrid, 6'2", 200 pounds. As you said, the 24/7 Sports Crystal Ball favors Clemson right now. That's a low confidence pick by me. I think that Georgia and Texas A&M are very much in this recruitment as well. He took official visits to see all those programs. He did not take an official to Clemson, but he did visit there the second weekend of June. Took an official to Georgia the weekend after, and then was at Texas A&M the last weekend of the month, and was able to squeeze in Michigan and took a trip to Penn State. But you're looking at Georgia, you're looking at A&M, and you're looking at Clemson. He's doing a big Zoom with Dabo Swinney on Wednesday. He's also doing another one with Coach Lanning and Coach Smart and Coach Muschamp and those guys at Georgia. So I think those will be kind of the final punches being thrown. Talks to Texas A&M regularly. Ace recruiter Elijah Robinson's from New Jersey, knows the family well. I think Jimbo Fisher and his program blew them away on their official at the end of the month. So this one's still a bit of a toss-up. I think he decides before he goes back to IMG, though.
Another guy, obviously at IMG, Dalen Everett. If you look at his player profile, commitment watch is rapidly approaching. July 17th is the date. It'll be on CBS Sports HQ. Steve, the very latest on that high 4-star corner.
Well, when you put together a prototypical corner, they have Dalen Everett's traits. You know, he's 6'1", 185 pounds with great length. He's the fastest player on IMG's team. Ran a 4.4 at their pro day back in the spring on the laser. This is a Clemson, North Carolina battle, in my opinion. He's also strongly considered Florida State and Georgia, so maybe I'm sleeping on those two, but I like where Clemson and North Carolina stand, and I would probably have given the edge to Clemson coming into this week. So we'll see if Dre Bly and North Carolina and Mac Brown and those guys can make a major move here.
What about Tyler Booker, Steve? That's another high 4-star kind of guy. Offensive tackle, 6'5", 325. I know back in the day, you would have seen that size and that frame, and you would have said it must be a junior in college. Well, they kind of come out of high school sometimes this way. This is one that Florida Gators have a lot of emotion invested in. So what's the latest with Tyler Booker?
Well, this is the team captain for IMG Academy. He's the person that sets the tone for them in the weight room and on the practice field. So in addition to everything you see on film, this is a young man that checks every intangible box that you're looking for in an offensive lineman. He's he's a leader, he's hard-nosed, he's tough. And he took all 5 of his official visits in June. He got a chance to visit Florida first. The Gators came out swinging that first weekend with Tyler Booker, Walter Nolan, Evan Stewart, and a bunch of others on campus. And then from there, he took a midweek to Oregon. I think if Oregon was closer to home, they could be tough to beat. But I think he's going to stay in the SEC footprint, which also then eliminates Ohio State. I don't think he's going to pick the Buckeyes, but he did take an official to Ohio State the third weekend of June. So you have Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. And from that group, I think the relationships are strongest at Georgia. I think he looks at Alabama and sees the pedigree that they have and the blueprint they have for their athletes. And so those are the two I'm looking the strongest at. I think he's going to end up at either Georgia or Alabama. There was a time where I would probably have given the edge to Georgia, but I know Alabama's given him a lot to think about. Perhaps I'm sleeping on the Gators, but this is the pulse that I'm getting on Tyler's recruitment.
Katron Allen, another name. That's 4-star running back. He's got a commitment date, actually July 16th. So this Friday, 5'11", 220-pound running back. He's originally from Virginia, Steve. Does geography play into this equation at all?
Well, I think when you look at the 24/7 Sports crystal ball favorite in Penn State, it doesn't hurt. He took an official visit to Happy Valley the first weekend of June. Penn State didn't sign a running back last cycle. They already have Nicholas Singleton in the fold, the number 3 running back in the top 247, but they need 2 difference makers in this class with the way that their depth chart is going in the future. And Katron Allen is a guy that they love and are pushing for, and I think that they're the one to beat. Also took trips to Florida, Georgia, and Michigan State. Still has one available. So I know Florida State's pushing for that 5th official, and maybe he'll still take it after he's committed. But I think right now, going into his college decision, I like where Penn State stands. And Josh, the Nittany Lions, they have the number 3 ranked recruiting class in the country right now as James Franklin and his staff work on their best class since arriving in Happy Valley.
A lot of commitments coming up. Keep your eyes peeled. 247sports.com. That's Steve Wiltfong. Steven, we will see you next week, sir.